How's it going, everyone? And welcome back to the Black Metal Rebellion. I'm going to be doing some more of the answers to the second Q&A. I'm probably going to do a couple videos today as well. There's a lot to get through. Hope hope it's not too boring. Alright, so last time we did some questions by Brutality Will Rule 666, Rare and Rotten Gore, and Bailey R. Today, we're going to start off with Life Eternal. That is an excellent name, by the way. Life Eternal asks, what's your favorite Stephen King novel or movie? I don't actually own any novels by Stephen King. I do own a few movies by him, though. I have a lot more to collect still. Pretty decent, author and dude that has movies made after some of his books. One of my favorite ones, though, and you're probably gonna be like, "What the hell, really?" Is Secret Window with Johnny Depp, and not just because I'm a Johnny Depp fan, but it's pretty cool because you don't really expect the ending and who the characters are. Sometimes I try not to give away too much if you haven't seen it, but it's pretty good. It's just kind of funny to see Johnny Depp's character just kind of slowly but surely kind of lose his mind trying to figure out why the stuff is happening to him. And then the conclusion is just really good, and the ending line is hilarious and creepy. So definitely like that. Waiting for that one to come out, The Towers or something. Should be pretty sweet. I hear that's coming out in 2017, so we got a bit to wait. But looking forward to that one. Carrie was decent. The original Carrie was kind of brutal for its time with all that blood and stuff like that. Christine, the car that kills people. It's pretty weird. I want to see Sometimes They Come Back. I haven't seen that one yet. Apparently there's the second one called Sometimes They Come Back Again. But all in good time. I've got a lot of Stephen King shit to go through and a lot of stuff to pick up. My wife recently made a list of Stephen King movies that we need to get, and we'll probably slowly but surely pick those up. So yeah, thanks for your question, Life Eternal. The second question you have is, how do you feel about Southern rock and jam bands such as the Allman Brothers and the Grateful Dead? They're pretty old. They're very tame in comparison to what I like to listen to. I appreciate the kind of country, bluesy, jazz kind of riffs that they come up with. I respect that they're, talented guitar players and whatnot, but it's not something I really listened to. Even back when I was like 8 or 9 years old, I still probably wouldn't really listen to them too much. The closest thing to that kind of stuff I would listen to would be the Yardbirds, which is basically Eric Clapton and Jimmy Page before they became Eric Clapton and Led Zeppelin and all that stuff. Third question. What's your thoughts on Opeth? They're alright. I checked out Watershed, and it was an alright album. The pacing's pretty interesting. They go from really, really slow and somber to kind of like heavy and like mid-paced, kind of death metal vocals and kind of doomy. It's interesting. One of my favorite songs by them is probably The Grand Conjuration. That's probably what everyone else likes. My cousin Brett introduced me to that song by them forever ago, and it's just kind of their go-to song for me. I didn't really get into them, and I probably won't be picking up any of their albums in the future, but they're talented. They're decent. Next, we got some questions from Jayson Kennedy. He asks, thoughts on the mass of hardcore and beatdown bands coming out this year? Well, the thing is, there's there's going to be a flooding of the market when it comes to any new genre that comes out. Every scene has like a bunch of bands that want to do the same kind of stuff. A lot of bands that see their predecessors getting recognition for doing that certain genre, and they go, hey, if we incorporate that sound into our music, we might get a little further ahead too and be able to get on the circuit and tour and get some recognition. So it's pretty par for the course when it comes to local bands or bands in a local scene doing somewhat similar music. It happened down here in Oshawa, Ontario. There's with This Is Death Valley being a deathcore band, there's a lot of bands that like hopped on the metalcore, deathcore, hardcore friggin' scene. In the Act of Violence being more like metalcore with the odd deathcore influence. Drag the Lake being another deathcore band. Just Beguiler. Trying to think of that other band that Tyler Kenji went into. Oh man, I can't think of it. But yeah, it seems like once one or two bands in a certain genre in a local scene start getting bigger, all the other bands seem to want to do that and get a piece of the action and get a piece of the cake and try to get somewhat recognized and get a little bit of their fame in there and run the circuit with them. But honestly, I'm not really big on hardcore. Not really big on beatdown bands. There's a lot of slam bands now that are incorporating beatdown elements. Like one of my more enjoyable slam bands was Slam Fiction, and their first couple of songs were pretty decent, and now they're starting to go more into slam down or beat down influenced slam style, and I'm just kind of like, come on guys, you sounded better as a slam band. But that's just my opinion. If you like beatdown, cool. If you like hardcore, cool. It's not my thing, and I honestly think there needs to be a bigger uprise and like modern black metal and maybe some Black and Death or like I said, Black Slam would be amazing to see happen a little bit more, because they're my two favorite genres and it's not really a big thing right now. I think there's a little bit more that could be done with those music styles. So next, Jayson Kennedy asks, any war metal band recommendations like Black Witchery or Revenge? I don't really listen to war metal. I haven't really got there yet, I guess you could say. I'm still dabbling in the early 90s black metal scene and trying to catch up on all that stuff. I'm slowly getting into the early 2000s black metal stuff too. But I know Count Blagareth and Wyatt XM and a couple other guys are into Tetragrammicide, so check them out. I think Bestial Warlust is, I think, a war metal band. Maybe check them out. They're all right. And I want to say Mitochondrion, but I'm probably so wrong with that band. Their name sounds like they would be a war metal band, but I don't think they are. But check them out anyways. Tell me what you think of Mitochondrion. I'm probably going to research them after this video and see if I totally led you astray. And it honestly wouldn't shock me, but yeah, Tetragrammicide and Bestial Warlust, check them out. Let me know what you think. 3. Do you have a battle jacket? Yeah, I've actually worn it in a few videos in the past. I don't really wear it a lot during like these really, really hot heat waves we've been getting the last couple of weeks. But I normally try to wear it whenever I go out somewhere and do something, if the weather's allows me to wear it without melting. I plan on doing a battle jacket video in the future whenever it's fully complete. As I've said before, I don't really think doing battle jacket updates is I don't know. It doesn't really seem like something that a lot of people would be interested in. And I think I'd feel lame just showing off that I've got a couple of new patches recently. Whoop de fucking do. So yeah, I'm just gonna wait till my battle jacket's like done, or at least 90% done, because there's, to me, I don't see the point in showing it off before then, not in full. So I do have one, and I will show it in the future sometime when I finish putting all my patches on it. I've got 2 or 3 patches on the way right now that needs to go on it, but even after those are applied to the vest, I still probably need about 10 more. I've got about that much space on either side, and then I've got like a whole strip on the side on here, not on the inner side, but like on the back side of the side. But yeah. And fourth, are you going to be doing a room tour video? I could. The bedroom near my jam setup is normally where I record a lot of my videos. Where I'm sitting right now is just kind of the corner of my living room, behind the door, which is right here, to the hallway. I just kind of close that and just kind of sit in the corner and film myself, because it's got some decent lighting. As you can see in here, the bedroom doesn't really have the greatest lighting. I have to pull out an extra lamp and set it on the floor, and it creates a bunch of dumbass shadows. And but I could just kind of show off my corner here, and show off the jams, side of the room in my bedroom. It's not really interesting. I don't really have any great posters up or anything like that. I've got a whole wall full of movies and stuff, but that's about it. So yeah, I could probably do that in the future. Look for that, I guess. Alright, next. I've got Slam Deathmetal. He asks, why do true black metal Norwegian bands hate Cradle of Filth and call them posers or not true black metal? Well, and this is going to be the last question for this video, but the reason why a lot of the Norwegian black metal bands kind of hate on Cradle of Filth is because they have a certain type of style and certain kind of riffs and ideology they like to present in their music, and they probably feel that Cradle of Filth don't really adhere to that specific style and the originating true black metal Norwegian sound in the 1990s, like 91, 92, even maybe 1989, depending on what band. But yeah, Cradle of Filth, their first demo called Total Fucking Darkness was pretty damn legit true black metal. And then they released Principles of Evil Made Flesh, and it was pretty much still the same thing with what you more or less hear from them nowadays, kind of stuck in there as well. There's quite a difference of sound, though, between that demo and their first album. You will notice the difference if you go check that out. But yeah, the Cradle of Filth, their goal was to get big and make some money and actually do some huge touring around the world. They also got slack for adding like color to their band shirts and not just being like stark white on black shirts or gray, to keep that cold necro feel to it. They wanted to do something a little more with their music. They wanted to be a little more not mainstream, because mainstream implies that you're played on the radio, but they wanted to be bigger. They wanted to actually make some money and make a career out of it, and not just stay underground and stay, true cult black metal. And yeah, that's basically why they get shit for the kind of music they make and kind of steering away from the, Norwegian black metal sound. And that's why the guys have a big deal with what they're doing and call them, false black metal or posers, because poser just means you are posing as something that you are not actually. So, when Danny Filth and the rest of Cradle of Filth dress up in spikes and leather and black, fucking outfits and corpse paint and look all black metal, but then play kind of symphonic extreme metal with the, you know, sprinkles of black metal on there. That's why they get called posers, because they are almost posing as something they are not. I mean, they've still got a little bit of black metal in them, but to me, it's a percentage scale. Like, if there's 0% and 100% black metal, they're somewhere over here. They have skewed so far away from what, like, pure black metal is, that it's, you know, the only thing that's holding them to black metal now is basically the way they dress in their videos and live performances, and the fact that they've got, you know, Danny Phil's like screams, so they got like black metal vocals, and, you know, blast beats and double kicks. Like, but that's why, man. I'm trying not to sound elitist here. I'm just trying to explain where the true Norwegian black metal artists are having problems with Cradle of Filth and why they shit on them so much. That's why, man. Because they look at them as being fake. They just look at them as not being real black metal artists. They look at them as trying to make money and selling out and trying to, you know, I mean, everyone wants a career in music and to go somewhere. That's not selling out, but that's the way they look at them, because the originators stayed underground for the most part. They don't probably get gold or silver or platinum albums or anything like that. They're just a very underground kind of mentality. Just how it is, man. I'm not gonna call Cradle of Filth posers. I'm not gonna say that they're fake black metal. I don't enjoy them. They're mostly just symphonic extreme metal with the odd dash of black metal in it now. So that's what it is, man. Anyways, I'm done here for this video. It's been way too long. Thanks for your question, guys, and stay sick.